All right, Manib. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this, and it looks like you got a couple on here that you identified that you want me to focus on. Um, so I'm guessing that you, because the price point's so close, because the rest of these are pretty far off. Looks like you did a good job of when the ARV is close to list prices, getting rid of those. Good job on that. And so. Let me take a look here. I'm probably going to adjust this percent off. So I'm going to set this up at least a point two on condos. We may even go 0.9 to start getting, oops, what did I do here? Let's reverse that. Why is that being goofy? There we go. I don't know what I just did. So I'm going to post values. That's going to change that, make those go up. We may go to 0.9 or 0.18. I'm sorry, 0.19, 0.18. 19%, 18% to get our offer prices up. We'll get there. Anyways, so the first one you want to take a look at is this one that needed structural work. So I want to talk about this. We haven't really talked about it a lot. So Northglenn, they only have one pitcher. So when they only have one pitcher, a lot of times they're going right back down to these public remarks. I'm seeing what's going on. Why don't they have any more pitchers? And a lot of times they'll say, needs major rehab inside, whatever. But this one says need major structural issues. Just get rid of those. We don't right now. We're not going to mess with structural issues. We got so much other stuff to work on. It's very tough to resell these to investors because this is a very niche group that work on structural houses. I've done them. It's just more work. It's more effort. Most investors out there just don't want to do them. They don't know. They don't have the skill set to do it. They don't have the contacts to do it. And so our market is extremely limited with structural issues. Now, if I'm looking for a rehab, which I'm not doing rehabs right now because the market's so hot, I don't want to be stuck in the middle of a squeezed market. But if I was doing a rehab, yeah, I'd take a look at this for myself for sure, because structural properties you can make a lot of money on them. But when reselling to investors, let's just scrap those. So that's probably a bigger explanation than what you really wanted to hear. So on that, we'll just get rid of it. So let me take a look at this one and get back to you. All right, so your second property, Manib, that you wanted me to take a look at is this Marina Drive. So let me just talk about this area for a second. So this is a retirement community in here. All these are pretty much the same values. There's tons of stuff for sale in here. There's lots of turnover because this is a retirement community, meaning that this is like 55 plus community. This is where a lot of older people just kind of go and live their retirement. And so you can definitely really narrow down on your square footage in here because there's so much. I didn't even go out a year. I just went 13 to 14. And I thought your value was spot on. I mean, here's our property at 250. Here's a 327. Here's a 339. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that with a little rehab, this place will. That one's really nice. I like what they did there. But our property right here is pretty banged up. I mean, it's not bad, but it's interesting that they can't sell this for 250. So they've had this on the market 215. They've already done a price drop. They're pretty eager to sell this thing. What's interesting, they got this property over here for 260 that is even worse shape. Definitely needs carpet paint. That's under contract 260. They might actually got it down to 230. But anyway, let me just get to the point here. So if you're ever kind of wondering if you're priced right, this is a good example to show you by using the low solds in the area. This kind of gauge if you are pretty spot on, is what I'm trying to get at here. So, you're at 236, right? And you're right here at this low sold. So if we got it at 236, we'd be doing really good. So, yeah. So I think that is a great offer right there. So shoot that out at 236. This would be one that I would label, um, label that as red. That's one we want to pay attention to. It needs a little bit of work. And yeah, so but get familiar with this area because we're gonna do a lot of stuff in here. I probably sold two or three in this area in the last year or so. It's just a lot of turnover, a lot of updating needs to be done in here because this older people live there for 10 years and don't never update anything, and so there's always constant turnover in here. So, anyways, let me look through the rest and we'll keep going. All right. Hey, I just want to let you know that I already went through your database and marked the ones that were in really bad shape. So probably moving forward, these are the ones that I'm probably going to be spot checking the most this week because I feel like you got a pretty good handle on this. This is where I want to focus is on these that need work. So, and this will be good because then you'll get an eye for ones that we are going to have less of a chance of getting, and then ones we'll have more of a chance of getting, in the future. So, anyways, but there's one that in particular I wanted to show you um, that at first it seemed like it was a pretty decent property, but the more I started flipping through it, I saw, this markings on the wall. There was stucco or the popcorn ceilings. And then I got to the kitchen, and the kitchen's cabinets were pretty bad. And then something that really caught my eye was we got to the bathroom. There's a gigantic hole in the ceiling. So this property definitely is having some problems. So I'm not sure. Is that on my? No, that's like part of the paint. There's something going on here. So this is interesting. This is, because the bathroom actually looked pretty nice over here, but then they have problems in the other one. They can't even get, well, now I didn't get this far, but they got, the carpet's destroyed. So this is definitely one that I wanted to mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through your list and I'm just going to look at these. I might spot check a couple of these other ones that you had, but these are the ones I'm probably going to focus on to make sure our offers are really that you and I are on the same page when it comes to these offers here, because these are the ones we have the best shot at getting. So I'll be back in a sec. All right, so this first one that we're looking at is, where'd this guy go? They're really overpriced. They are, right? Is this in? No. Let me pull them up here real fast. Actually, I'm gonna pause this. So I'm not wasting. Oh, here they are. Yeah, it's 279. They've got people right next to them at 225 that's sold in similar condition. Very, very much overpriced here in this area. So, oh, my MLS froze. So hang on a second. All right, finally got my MLS back up. So I was working on this 112th Avenue, and so this one's kind of unique because it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Nothing else in this complex is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that I could find, unless you get up, I think, with a little higher square footage. So I'll just go through my criteria. I went back a year because I zeroed in on the complex itself. I didn't even really need to worry about any of this stuff. And I did 0 to 1,400 square foot. Our square foot is 1,100 square foot. So it's a tough one in that I see you got your 320 here. It is pretty nice, but it's almost 1,350, so it's 200 square foot more, which is a big deal when you got these little condos. But ours is a 3.2, so that's just kind of unique. I kind of went back and forth on this one, but at the end of the day, this is what I concluded. Our purchase price on this is going to be $231. That puts us right here down at the bottom. So I don't necessarily have a problem with that. If that's kind of one of the ways I check that, because I know I can probably sell it if we get at that number. Would it be better if we got a very low one at 225? Absolutely. So, maybe we split that. So the ARV is just kind of tough to figure out. So we'll go with this ARV. I think the ARV is probably closer to 310. This to be conservative, which puts it at 223. We'll give it a shot, but I think we can definitely come up on that one a little bit. So let's start there and go from there. But I like what you did with your ARV. I think it's fine. So I'm gonna take a look at this next one and keep going. All right. So this next one is Bethany. So 16, almost 1,700 square foot, 275. You come with the ARV of 315. So just to wrap that up, I totally agree. You got your 312 here. Um, it's a little bit smaller. Yeah, that's an easy call. I think 315 is perfect. And this is another one we might be able to come up a little bit, but we'll start here. And I'll probably call the agent on that and see what we're going to do. So I'm going to keep going. All right, so the next one is this Chicano one. Yep, overall, I think you did pretty good on this one. 1,200 square foot. You come up 275, and there's just not a lot in this little complex, right? Well, there is actually quite a bit to work with, but let's get to not a lot of fixed up stuff. But this one right here is a little bit smaller, so maybe 120, 100, whatever. Not doing my math correct. 118 square foot less, something like that. 112, and it's fixed up, so I would use that. So it looks like pretty nice inside. So they closed at 160 or 269. Yep, so 275, easy call. So move on to the next. All right, so this next one is this Troy Street. Before I get started on this one, this is another one that'd be a good one to pick up an extra. There's this other one down here at 250, very similar square footage. You can even look at this Kansas place, maybe even discount a little bit because of the smaller square footage without putting a lot of work into it. But we'll get to that here in a second. But overall, yeah, you had an ARV at 270. Yep, I thought that was good. You got this 280 right here at almost 1,400 square foot, completely fixed up. So the only thing that when I saw that, is that they had it listed at this. Well, it closed close to what they wanted for it. Went under contract very quickly, so I don't think they had it under listed. So yeah, being that ours is a little bit smaller, a discount of 10,000 is probably appropriate. So back to this right here. So when you're going through these complexes and you see something like this, go ahead and grab them up. I don't know if I'd spend a lot of time with this. I think that's over somewhere else, a different type of complex. But I mean, you can look at it if you want, but these are clearly, I mean, on the same street. This one's in the same comps that we're looking at, roughly the same square footage. So we already have a really good idea of our value just based on what we're seeing here. So we know that we're probably going to be around that 260 mark. So since we've already done the work, might as well export those out, add them to our list, and send them out. So the only other thing you might want to check, at which I didn't, is if they're already fixed up. If they're already fixed up, maybe just go ahead and ignore it. I would send one on that one. And then it's Kansas. I probably wouldn't on this. Look at that flooring. It's pretty much new. That's a new kitchen. So let's ignore that one. So even though the pricing is very similar, this one's in a much worse shape, so we have a better chance of picking that one up. So we just go ahead and export this. We just go to full. So, and then copy and paste it into our spreadsheet like you would normally. And yeah, just keep an eye on those actives when you're going through, and I've picked up a lot of properties this way because sometimes those aren't popping up in the search, and we're the only person throwing an offer at those people. So that's why I say, grab them up. If you see the actives there, what did we decide? 260 on this. So 177. We might get a little more. Oh, we want to do copy, paste. So 183. Just kind of curious how we stack up against the solds in the area. So yeah, we would be right down there, right? No, we wouldn't. We kind of need to be in those twos to make this work, right? So we might want to be a little more aggressive in our price. So maybe I'm going to start at 19. So we might have to get quite a bit more aggressive. We'll start there. I'm on the wrong one, aren't I? So anyways, we'll play with those numbers later, but let me keep going here and we'll see what, I think I have one more left here. We've got Troy, we've got Marina. So let me take a look at that and then we'll wrap this up. All right, so to wrap this up, I'm actually looking at Norm. Sorry, I think I misspoke last time on Marina. We've already looked at that one. So on Norm, we're at 1,100 square foot, and you came up to ARV 260, and list price 245. I agree. I really, this is an amazing rehab. Wow, they really did a cool thing here with the tile going up the wall. Yeah, this is beautiful place. Did a great job. So, but yeah, kind of going back to these results. Here's another one. I'd pick up a couple more offers potential. So I looked at these already. This one, it's not terrible shape, but it's definitely dated. And so I'd throw an offer at that one as well, because you're already in here, right? So you might as well canvas the neighborhood because you already know the values. This one also, you can see the cabinets kind of banged up, older appliances. So this is how I do this, and you can do it really quickly because you've already looked at the comps. And so these two are very similar, right? These two Norm properties. So you already know you're going to be in this value range just based on the square foot, how it's laid out. So I would assign 260 ARV to both of these. And then on this 199, so they got a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, but you can tell by this one right here, they got a 2 bedroom, 2 bath. That some changes have been made because it's the same type of square footage layout for the most part. So I would say they're probably in that 225, 230 range for this guy, just based on looking at this. Wouldn't spend a lot of time analyzing that. I would just go ahead and do it. So so again, we're just exporting these out, full export, just like you normally would. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those in the spreadsheet, and I'm going to wrap this up. But overall, I want to say good job. I'll shoot one more video today, just kind of explaining how to move forward with all this. But I'm going to kind of set you on autopilot, if you will. So you're going to be doing your own thing now. So you're going to be going in every day. You have a specific task to do. You don't need direction from me every morning. If you want me to look at something specifically, just email it to me. Otherwise, I would say, based on what I'm seeing, I'm really comfortable with what you're doing with the values you're assigning these properties. And so I say, just go for it. You can download the properties, assign ARVs, make the offers, and then send me a list of the properties you made offers on with the really banged up properties in red, like I've talked about. Copy and paste the ones that you did make offers into the spreadsheet, and we'll start doing this every day. So I'll shoot a video on that real fast, but overall, I just want to say great job. I think you're on the right path here.